Alright, final round on the play, and we're hoping to do the old 3 and 2 here. Okay, we have ourselves a keep. It's a little on the fragile side, but we can force with a Blighted Agent, and then play a turn 2 Blighted Agent and have Brainstorm, and it's not the worst. Not the best either, especially if we get Wastelanded, but, you know, what can you do? The answer is nothing. You can't do anything. Oh god. Goddamn miracles, man. Alright, we need our blue mana. Like, this sucks, but I mean, we've now just shown them that we have force, but like the thing is, if we don't draw land, we're just in so much trouble. Damn it. Okay, well, we did at least draw land, but it doesn't help us that much. We still can't play Blighted Agent until turn 3, which is pretty brutal. Like, against miracles, we just need to be fast, fast, fast. Now the question becomes, how much do I care about top? Okay, this isn't miracles. This is Stoneblade. And Umezawa's Jete is literally the worst possible thing I can imagine having to deal with right now. So we're definitely going to force that. Like, we just stone cold cannot deal with that goddamn card. Alright, so we're going to play Blighted Agent first, and then Brainstorm on our next turn, for multiple reasons. The first reason being that we don't want to Brainstorm without a fetch in play, and the second reason being that we'd rather Brainstorm with an extra card in hand. Ooh, that's a great one to draw. Let's Brainstorm, see what we can get. Holy shiz snacks. Alright, so we might just have a win on our hands here. I put the Become Immense on the bottom, which was a mistake. I'm gonna pump that. I'm gonna attack with it. Now I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to Invigorate when they left all their mana up. Truth be told, I probably don't want to do that. It's probably better to just hit them for 3 and pass the turn, especially since we're going to draw another Infect threat anyway. Like, it's not that our Invigorates help us that much against what they're trying to do over there, but yeah. At least if they play a Jace, they're going to have force to finish us off. Supreme Verdict. Alright. Okay. That actually puts them in the exact same spot that I just described, where they kind of need something to finish us off. I'm going to use Inkmoth Nexus for the kill here. Dig up Trop. Go to blocks. Cast Invigorate. Cast Invigorate again. And then even if they counter this with Force of Will, they won't have enough resources to counter the Become Immense anyway. So they think they're safe, but they're not safe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that should be GG. Alrighty, Stoneblade. Alright, so what are we going to want to do against them here? I would love to bring in Rest in Peace to deal with their Snapcasters, but it's not worth it in this particular matchup. We can bring in Sylvan Library again. Necropedes, not the best. They're probably fine, but they're not great. Force of Will, yes. Spell Pierce, yes. Might want Viridian Corruptor. Stifle is kind of whatever. Easy cut. Dryad Arbor is not great in this particular matchup. Again, the thing that we're afraid of here is definitely the Umezawa's Jete, so things that are good against that are what we want to play. But we also just want to be fast. We don't want to be wasting our time. I'm going to take out crop rotation because it doesn't do enough for our current plan here. And that leaves us at one too many cards. I could cut Become Immense. I think I'll do that. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe we just want to try and hit them with a combo kill. But Sylvan Library will help us do that for sure, assuming it resolves. So winning game one was really important, obviously. It always is with aggressive decks, but when you win game one, you feel so much better because that means you're guaranteed to play another game on the play if you lose, right? So that means that 2 out of your 3 matches you're definitely playing on the play. Whereas if you lose match 1, if you were on the play, you do get one other match on the play, but you have to win your 3rd game, which won't be on the play. And just that first turn advantage is so huge for decks like Infect. Alright, opponent seems to have gone somewhere. I'm going to pause while we wait for them. Alright, so our opponent mulliganed. I am going to keep. And depending on what they do turn 1, that will influence our turn 1 play. Unfortunately, we don't have any way to do something with this Force of Will, which is a shame, but you can't have everything in life. Well, now we do have something to do with it. What the hell? I don't know how I sometimes lose stops on my main, but that scares me. We're going to start with Trop, obviously, and I'm going to lead with Hierarch because we only have Vines as our pump spell. And this way I can next turn play Glistener Elf and Sylvan Library or something. I say Glistener Elf rather than Blighted Agent because I want to keep that up for force. But if I drew like a Daze or something, well, yeah, I don't know. So we're playing against the Esper build. And again, we're going to counter this just because them having Jitte is so absurd against us. And I'm going to do the play I described last turn of Glistener Elf plus Sylvan Library. I guess we could get Dazed, which I definitely should have considered before I did that. If I was considering that, I would have played Library first, since this counts as another Infect threat, but we have no way of getting another Library. What is this? Painful Truths? Okay. That I'm totally fine with. Because Painful Truths could very easily just not matter at all. Always yield. Always yes. Yes. Alright, Brainstorm, Spell Pierce, Trop. This is the kind of thing where I just want to pay my life and keep everything and draw a just metric redonky-donk amount of cards. So if we play Green Sun Zenith, or if we play, so we could, we have so many options here. We could Brainstorm and then Green Sun Zenith as a shuffle effect, as well as getting us something else. That would take us 3 mana because we'd want to dig up a card like a second Noble Hierarch. And taking up 3 mana, we could do green and 1 and then blue. We could still hold up Spell Pierce with that plan. We could also just Vines this turn and hit him for 6, which is not a terrible plan. That also lets us hold up Spell Pierce, but is a little less efficient as far as mana is concerned. Though it does... getting in damage right now is nice. It's a nice little bonus to get. I think I like that plan. Let's do that plan. Is there a reason why I shouldn't use these lands? No. Cast Vines with Kicker on G-Elf. Bash our opponent for 6. And then hope that they don't have like swords or something next turn. But even if they do, we have a backup Inkmoth already, so it's not the end of the world. It's cool that they're playing Painful Truths. Like, when the set first came out, people were doing stuff like that. And I was a little skeptical, but looks like it might be a real thing. Did I accidentally hit always no instead of always yes? Well, I guess you guys will probably know better than I do, but that's a shame. What do we want to do? Probably just bash him for 2, to be honest. And then, well, if he doesn't block, maybe we use Brainstorm or something. But right now, I think I'm content with just doing something along these lines. I guess he could have, like, Supreme Verdict. But, again, that doesn't get rid of Inkmoth, so I don't really care. Brainstorm, you say? That's fine. I would rather he didn't. But, what can you do? Right now we have 3 infect threats, and we only need 1 to get through with the Hierarch to win, so... We have a backup Hierarch if we need it. Like, we're just in really good shape here. Batterskull doesn't save him. He's in a world of hurt. We just have too many options of what we can do. Now, he does have 7 cards, which is worth noting, but him being able to Force of Will, for example, a pump spell doesn't really matter. Like, at all. Hell, Supreme Verdict? Okay, that's fine. I don't really care. For reasons discussed earlier. Okay. Berserk, you say? Always yes. Always yield. Yes. I don't know what went wrong last time. Wow, now we can have double counter spells up. So I guess the question becomes, what's the plan here? Obviously, we want to use Force of Will and Spell Pierce if possible. We're not getting rid of these 3. We could just pay the life, but I'm playing a land. I'm gonna play a land. I guess Inkmoth. That needs to stay, and Force needs to stay. I'll pay 4 life to keep that in my hand. And the question is whether I want to pay the additional 4 life for the Berserk. Because my plan is going to be play Inkmoth, activate Inkmoth. I'll have 2 open mana. Which means I could Green Sun Zenith, I guess? Or, like, yeah, that doesn't actually work. I think I do need this Berserk as well. Let's do Inkmoth. Make sure that we activate the right one. Attack with Berserk. Go to blocks. Berserk. This is probably where he plays swords. We counter, and then we counter his counter, and hopefully he doesn't triple counter. Or double counter, or whatever. Yep, there's the swords, and we play Spell Pierce. Even if his deck had guides, Simian Spirit Guides, it wouldn't matter. Wow, he didn't have any counter spells whatsoever. Alrighty, well, we went 3-2, which, if we were 1 draw away from winning 2 of those matches, both of our losses, so as you can see, the deck is very powerful, very fast. I still don't really, couldn't tell you how it wins so often in the early turns, but it does, it's consistent, it's great, but you don't really want to be playing against control decks with it, obviously. Though some matchups are better than others, and if you get the right draw, you can basically be unbeatable. So yeah, that was the deck, and let me know in the comments if you want to see more Legacy videos, less Legacy videos. This is the only deck that I have currently, but if you want to see more of it, I'd be happy to produce more content for you guys. So until then, have a good time. And may you always top deck the cards you need.